The attitude of black girl curls. If the aim is to unify and to teach and to introduce a new idea, that is the wrong way to go about it. Hi everyone, so I know I look crazy, but I was midway just moisturizing my hair and I thought, why not do a video talking about the pros and the cons of the 30-day hair detox from my perspective. So I am almost halfway done. So what I'm doing is I have got Kinky Curly Custard on this side of my hair, and on this side this side, I think it's my left, your right, I'm gonna use TGIN. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use two different moisturizers to moisturize my hair. So I'm gonna try this one out. If you've seen my previous videos, you've seen that I'm sort of trialing this out to see if it's, you know, gonna be a staple in my regimen after trying the 30-day hair detox, because I love the slip that it provides. It does require a lot of water, and as you can see, the water up here is drying out. My hair is freshly washed, by the way. So it actually doesn't have slip in this state. The slip comes from lots and lots of water. So, you know, I don't know if it's practical for my regimen at the minute, but we'll see how I go. So Kinky Curly on this side and TGIN's buttercream on the other side. And I recently bought a butter. It's called an argan butter refined. Argan butter refined, it's called. So it's pretty much a solid version of argan oil. And I actually bought this before the 30-day hair detox. And like I've said in many videos, I don't waste products. I will use all my products in the house, whether they've got oils, butters, or whatever. And I use this on my body. It's very buttery, it's very soft. And you can use it on the hair as well to seal the moisture in. So I'm gonna use that to seal both sides of the hair. Hope that makes sense. And if you are iffy and touchy and in your feelings about using raw oils and butters, this is probably not a video for you, because I will be using raw oils and butters as per my regimen. Be sure to subscribe, click that notification so you get notified each time I post a new video. If you're interested, keep watching. Okay, so I've already done this section and this section here. So as you can see, this part is done, and that's the Kinky Curly Not Today and the argan butter. And this side is the TGIN. You can see it looks like more product here, the residue. So that's the TGIN and the butter. Just wanted to show you here how this butter is sort of clumping my hair towards the ends. I don't know if you can tell. Look at that. It's interesting how it's sort of, yeah, it's clumping my hair. I like it. I love the feeling of products on my hair and the manageability that they provide for me, and just the slip and shine that comes with using butters and oils. So look at that. That's so interesting, eh? To have the butter do that for your curls. I'm just gonna finish that portion up, and then I'll start up here doing the Kinky Curly Not Today plus the butter, the argan butter. And for those that don't know, I've done the detox for a full month, so 4 weeks. And I've got a lot of videos on it, just me trying it out and, you know, reviewing it and, you know, talking about all things related to it. And I'll put a playlist, or I'll put videos throughout this video for you guys to check out. For those that don't know, when I first started, or when I went into this challenge, I did it because you guys wanted to see it. But also I wanted to see if I could learn things that I don't necessarily know or are intentional about in my current regimen, to incorporate in my regimen. And to be honest, I thought I'll go in there and prove everybody wrong that raw oils and butters are actually good for your hair. But I was stunned that, you know, I was the one that actually learned a few things. Yes, I have not given up my oils and my butters, but there's a lot of things that I've taken from the 30-day hair detox that I will go ahead and use in my regimen. So the first pro that I have learned is just the importance of cleansing. I think when the natural hair community first, started, just get this out. The rule of the game was to cold wash, right? Moisture is key. Moisturize by all means, clarifying shampoos are the enemy, just moisturize. But if you think about it, for you to have an effective regimen, you have to cleanse your hair. And this 30-day detox has a focus on that. So I really appreciate that it focuses on cleansing the hair. The other thing that I think I really appreciated was just how, when you use less products, or when you use products that actually aren't that heavy for your hair, you get to appreciate your texture a little bit more. As you can see, guys, there's no slip here, so I'm struggling. My hair is not gliding very well because of that. So, I feel like the Kinky curly needs a lot of water to glide. Anyway, I appreciated my texture a little bit more. And I love that about the challenge. If you are keen to sort of try it out, it will really give you a good idea of what your texture is like, what it feels like without all the heavy oils and butters on it, which a lot of us still need to discover, unfortunately, because we're very, very heavy with products. And to be honest, it's not really my place to say, hey, don't be heavy with your products, be light or whatever. Do whatever you do, but the rule of thumb is to cleanse your hair. That's in my opinion. We need to get into the habit of cleansing our hair. Obviously, I'm using quite a bit of butter here because, I love how it feels on the hair. And obviously, I'm trying to lock in all the moisture from the cleansing stage and also from this leave-in. This butter has quite a bit of slip, so I enjoy that about it. It's very natural, so it's got no smell or sense or fragrances or anything like that. So yeah, just feeling your texture. That was number 2. Number 3 is how simple the process is. So it's pretty much cleanse, condition, and style. So it's very simple in that regard. All you need to do is cleanse your hair, condition, and style it. And for people that are looking for a simpler regimen, this might be something you want to try. There is no pre-pools required. There's no overnight treatments required. You just cleanse your hair, condition, and style it. So the process is very simplistic in that sense. I discovered botanical gels. I guess that's another thing that I can say was a plus for me. I didn't really know about botanical gels, and they're actually quite, moisturizing. They've got humectants in them. So humectants, we know, are really good for, maintaining moisture in the hair. So I appreciated that. Obviously, the humectant that I used was just the one. So, I haven't tried all the humectants that they recommend, but, the introduction of the quality that is humectant gels was a big pro for me. And for people that love wash and goes, and if you like, wearing your hair up, for example, and you want a bit of definition going on, botanical gels will be really good because not only will they give you the definition, but also the humectants in there, which are really beneficial, which is different to Eco-Styler gel, which is very prevalent in the natural hair community, which is not the best gel you could ever use or the healthiest for you. So botanical gels was a great discovery for me. Just add a little bit of Kinky curly here because it's drying out up here. So just put a little bit of the Kinky curly before I go in with the butter. The next pro that I think I discovered with this detox was just how focused it is on hydration. And a lot of the times you think hydration is in products, and it is. However, really water is what the hydration is coming from. So I like how that feels. So the focus is to cleanse your hair, obviously, but then when you're cleansing your hair, you're also hydrating and allowing for water to go into your hair, which is a good thing. And I think that message needs to get out a little bit more in the natural hair community. People not washing their hair enough or whatever the case. but I love the focus on hydration with the 30-day hair detox. Another one that I think is a pro is just, you know, lathering products in between your hands. So a lot of times you just grab products and slap them onto the hair, which we've done for a while in the natural hair community. But these guys are sort of saying, hey, you actually need to activate the product in between your hands before you apply it to your hair. And I found it to be really good when I did that, because it meant that the product lathered a little bit better, and also you use less. So you're saving up on product and money ultimately. So I love that about trying out the 30-day hair detox. It allows you to reset your hair. So if you're a heavy butter user, or you use lots of chemicals in your hair, and you know, you don't really understand where the dryness in your hair is coming from, and you want to sort of just reset your hair and get your products working a little bit better, this detox might actually work really well for you. So I really encourage people that are, you know, struggling with whatever, you know, whether it's moisture, whether it's just long wash days, etc. Try it out, reset your hair, and see how your hair responds. Obviously, if you cleanse your hair regularly, then you might not need to detox your hair, because, you know, you cleanse your hair. So, I mean, you're fine. You don't need to be getting into a detox because your hair is regularly cleansed. But for people that, say for example, if you co-wash, you might want to try this to just see how your hair responds to, I guess, getting rid of all the oils and butters that may have built up on your hair. I don't necessarily believe that oils and butters build up on your hair in such a way that you actually have to detox. But if that's the case, and I may be wrong, then a detox will help, you know, to sort of give you a clean slate to start from, to just get you back on track with your hair. So I'm just gonna finish this portion here, and then I'll get into the bad stuff. So I'll finish this stuff off camera, and then we'll go to the other side and just do the side that requires the TGIN, so you can see how it's working. So I've got a lot of slip with that butter. Maybe it's a combination of the Kinky Curly, but you can see the hair just gliding against each other, and that's what I like. I don't like resistance when I'm dealing with my hair. So I'm getting a little bit, a good amount of slip from the Kinky Curly and the butter, which I like. I like that it helps my hair glide against each other and just helps with the manageability, especially at the ends here, you know. I love how, you know, it's sort of defining the curl towards the end, and yeah. Okay, so on to the bad. It's time consuming. If you haven't joined the See Some Curls course, and you don't know, you know, how to use the techniques to quicken the process, it will take a long time. I remember Jen J said she spent 5 hours in the shower. I spent 2 hours tops, because I gave up. I just chose not to spend too much time in the shower. And this might be the case if you want to try this and you're still starting off and you're still learning. It might take you some time to master the techniques. And also, according to them, if your hair is used to lots of oils and butters and it is in need of a detox and it is dry, etc., it would take a while for it to, you know, get used to that, you know, routine of washing and conditioning, styling, etc., raking the hair and getting that definition. I know that the aim of the detox or the lifestyle of, you know, not using raw oils and butters is to actually reduce the time that we're in our hair. But for some people, I'm thinking about a mom or a new mom or someone that has to manage a home, full-time work, like doing this weekly might not be practical. Yeah, unless you master those techniques, of which it'll probably need you to commit. It would take time for you to learn those techniques. And while you're learning, it'll probably cost you a lot of time. So, you know, it's up to you to decide when to start, if you want to start it, is it worth it, etc. But for me, it was so time consuming. The 3-step process is simple in theory, but in practicality, not quite. At the washing stage, at the conditioning stage, and the styling phase, there's a lot of raking the hair, like running your fingers and detangling happening. It's a lot. So for me, especially on the styling part, it's too much work. It's extensive work to set the hair in a certain style, and that only lasts you 7 days. Like if I do these twists, they'll last me 2 weeks, you know? So for me, yeah, that is a con in my view, because for my regimen, that would be, yeah, I'm not willing to be picking little pieces of hair to get definition and to get a proper wash and go. So yeah, in that regard, I found that each step required quite a bit of work. Another thing I just want to bring to your attention is single strand knots. When I started this challenge, I needed a trim, okay? But by the time I was done with this detox, I keep calling it a challenge, but by the time I was done with the detox, I urgently needed a trim. The single strand knots in my hair doubled, if not tripled. Like, my hair does not like to be in a shrunken state, and the wash and go is a shrunken state. And the wash and go is a shrunken state. Even though you can get some stretch here and there, generally speaking, it's too much shrinkage for my liking. And yeah, my hair has paid the cost. I have suffered a lot of single strand knots, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a separate video just talking about how my hair is doing post the 30-day hair detox. Obviously, I'm back to my routine, as you can see, and I personally think my hair needs some attention. And if you notice, a lot of naturals that someone actually made a comment about this and said, it looks like everyone, once they're done doing the 30-day hair detox, they're cutting their hair or trimming their hair. And that's the case for Jen J. She has actually cut her hair. Latoya has cut her hair. I don't know who else. And I'm wondering if it's just coincidental or there's actually something motivating the cut. And of course, I am getting ready to trim my hair at the end of the month, because the single strand knots in my hair have, yeah, they've increased. So I don't know, maybe it's coincidental for others, but me, I'll be honest and say it's directly related to the wash and goes I was doing. Of course, the technique was off, and I've heard that the technique, once you get the technique, it actually helps you prevent single strand knots. And yeah, I've got single strand knots. So that was a setback and definitely a con for me while experiencing the detox. Now, the requirement to wash every week, that is a con for me because it's too frequent for my liking. Like, I can wash my hair every week, but they would have to be in braids or twists with extensions in them for me to be able to do that, because I don't want to be detangling my hair every single week. And I know a lot of people that watch me are the same, you know, like kinky hair is not, yeah. I guess the only people that can really speak to this are the people that have mastered the wash and go and leaving their hair in that state of, you know, the curly state, and it doesn't get frizzy and obviously doesn't get tangled as such, unless you work out and, you know, the sweat starts to revert the hair at the base. However, I've heard that you don't actually have to do only wash and goes when doing this regimen. And that poses the question, if you're doing twist outs, it means that you will need to detangle every single week. And detangling is not fun, guys. Because if you do a twist out, obviously your hair is not set in a particular way. So it will frizz up, it will tangle up, and you will be detangling every week. So for me, that is no. For me, that doesn't work, and definitely a con in my perspective. Manipulation, too much manipulation. Like I said it before, that, you know, each step requires quite a bit of work, extensive work. So the cleansing, you're raking your hair, conditioning, you're detangling, and then when it comes to styling, you're also doing the same thing. Not only is it a lot of work, but it's too much manipulation for me. Like at every stage, there's a lot of manipulation going on. And for me, that's a no. Like I'm actually on a healthy hair journey, but also a length retention journey. Like I'm trying to retain as much length as I can. And yeah, for people that are planning to do that, you can see the knots at the end, can't you? For people that want length or are trying to retain their length, this might be tricky because of the manipulation involved. Obviously, you have to be gentle with your hair whenever you do it, but the more opportunities you give yourself to manipulate your hair, the more chances of single strand knots, breakage, and your hair just not really retaining its length, which takes, for me, it's like a step back to before we started to take care of our hair. Because the issue when we were kids, the reason why we're not seeing the length was because of the breakage. And now we've found ways to reduce that breakage while keeping our hair healthy. And this new regimen seems to not really cater to people that want to retain length, for example. That's in my view. I'm yet to see them work on someone with really long hair, like Indigenous Strands. If you don't know her, check her out. But she's got the longest hair ever. And I don't know how a wash and go weekly would go on that kind of hair, which is, yeah, it's tricky. So, gosh, there's so many knots. Look at that. See that? So yeah, for me, yeah, that's an issue. So to reduce the shrinkage, once you do your wash and go, the advice is to use heat. And I found that heat was helpful. Heat helped just, obviously less drying time, but also the style seemed to hold a little bit better. Less flaking with the gels, etc. However, I dislike the idea of using heat every single week, and it's indirect heat, and some people that are knowledgeable around this have said it doesn't really affect you long term. I tend to disagree. I think long term it will. It might not be a drastic damage, but yeah, I'm not really comfortable unless maybe I do more research on this and see that for sure this doesn't really affect you. Someone equated, I think it was Michelle Johnson, thanks Michelle, she equated it to having your hair out on a sunny day, which, I mean, you can't really do much about the sun. Your hair doesn't really get damaged, but again, it's not like we're in the sun every day. So I'm sort of still researching on this and seeing how indirect heat can affect us. It's likely that it doesn't do anything to your hair, but for me, because I'm not really sure about this, for me it's a con, and that heat is just not something I want to use regularly. I use heat actually sometimes, especially when I want to trim my hair, or I just want to do a proper length check, etc., which I will be doing end of this month. I'll actually be blowing my hair and trimming. Yeah, I do it. I use heat, but I use it once in a while. So, I'm not expecting too much damage or problems with regards to overuse of heat. The products are not cheap. That's another con. Yeah, I think the conditioner that I use, the AG Boost conditioner, cost me about $37 or something like that. I mean, they're quality products, so you do expect them to cost money. However, yeah, if you think about it, because you're using it every week, you will use up quite a bit, quicker than you would normally. So I don't know how this looks like long term. The good thing, however, about the product is that a little goes a long way. And that's another pro, I think, that I may have left out. So, you know, the products, you only need a little bit and you're good. So in that regard, you might be able to still, you know, afford the expensive products or the price tag on the products. But for me, you know, yeah, unless I really believe in a product, I'm really not happy to be investing lots and lots of money regularly on you know, on these products, especially that the conditioner didn't have any slip in it, guys. So I'm getting much more slip with the TGIN conditioner, and obviously the butter, it's just really buttery. I love it. I can't wait to see it when it's dried out and how the style will look. And I actually prefer a buttery feel to my hair than an oily feel, because oil, the minute you touch the hair, it's all over your hands. But for butter, it's just like, it is all over your hands, but it's not messy, if you know what I mean. Don't know if that makes sense. Lengthy periods naked in the shower, that was a con for me. I tried, guys, you saw me, I struggled. I tried to stay in the shower longer and just, you know, take it and apply the styling products in the shower. I really tried. And yeah, it wasn't the best experience. I was so cold, and yeah, most of the times I just gave up and came and did the styles from out here on camera. So I mean, if you don't mind that, it'll probably work, but for me it's a no because of that. And also I've got an iron deficiency situation, so I'm always cold anyway. Like, my extremities are freezing all the time. So to add that to the coldness that I already feel, it's not something I was willing to do. So that's something that I would say is a con. Another thing that I may have touched on already is that I don't think that this, you know, no raw oils, no butter, no raw butters regimen is a length retention focused regimen. I think it works for people that like to wear their hair out, that like the curly kind of looks or curly styles, etc. But for someone that's looking for length retention, I'm yet to see this work. Generally speaking, manipulation and length retention are not really best friends. Another con that I think is, I don't know whether this is a con or a pro, but you know, the idea that oils and butters create an impenetrable barrier on the hair that you can't re-moisturize. Like, if you were to add water and an oil, or water and butter, the oil or the butter will always come to the top. And even if that water evaporates and you just have the oil and the butter sitting on the surface, if you add water to that, the water will go underneath the butter. And if you are re-moisturizing midweek or at the end of the week, you need to give your hair a bit of a boost, you are mixing the oil that's already on your scalp or in your hair, the oils and the butters that are already on there, you are mixing them with a water-based product or water itself. So it will be an effective re-moisturization, in my view, in my humble view. So to the notion that oils and butters are impenetrable and they prevent hydration and, you know, from the hair receiving hydration, that I don't know where that's coming from. But I tend to disagree because, you know, yeah, my hair, when I wet it, regardless of what's on it, look at that, regardless of what's on the hair, it will revert. Even if you put grease on your hair, it will revert because the water is getting to the hair. So, and I know I think someone, actually, there's a video I watched where he explained it quite well. And I think African Hair God also talks about how, you know, you can re-moisturize your hair even with oils and butters already on top. It's not an impenetrable barrier. Yes, there's a barrier, because it's a sealant. It's supposed to, you know, reduce the rate at which the moisture goes out of the hair, but not necessarily to stop the moisture from going out or in. So to me, I think that is actually misleading. You know, it's, yeah, water does penetrate hair even with all these heavy butters and oils. So yeah, I question that a lot. The attitude of black girl curls. If the aim is to unify and to teach and to introduce a new idea, that is the wrong way to go about it. Dissing influencers, dissing the natural hair community, mocking clay masks and regimens. I mean, yeah, that is disheartening. That is just, I don't even know how to speak to it, because I like to give people a benefit of the doubt, but one of the biggest deterrents from me joining See Some Curls is just the attitude of these women. It's not very inviting. It's very belittling, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, you know, why are you creating an environment where there's an us and them kind of situation? Is it not possible to coexist, to have people with different regimens? Why, you know, are you thinking that your routine is the only routine that should be followed? It's a lot of push for join the See Some Curls, join See Some Curls, and you know, you just have to wonder, like, is money a motivation here? Like, why can't we actually come together united and discuss this? Even if we disagree, you can do it professionally. You can do it, you know, with dignity and be civil about it. Look at that. Look at this curl here. So yeah, the attitude is just, yeah, it's not nice. And it's even interesting because there's stylists out there that disagree with these things. You know, they still say oils and butters are okay to use on the hair. So yeah, it worries me, the attitude that these ladies have. And I can't help but question, are they affiliated to the products that they are recommending, advocating for? I respect people, and I respect their knowledge, you know. I believe that they're knowledgeable. Obviously, they've gone to school, studied this, but I very much disagree with their approach to a lot of things when it comes to using oils and butters or routines, etc. So those are my pros and my cons, guys. Let me know what your thoughts around this are. Any additions, subtractions, etc. At the end of the day, I always encourage people to do whatever works for them, for their lifestyle, for their budget, manageability. Not everybody can afford these products, these botanical gels and high quality products. Like, use whatever you've got, where you've got, what you can afford, etc. You know. Yeah, comment below, let me know what you think. Obviously subscribe, guys, because come on. Listen to me. Please subscribe. I'll just finish this one and then we'll have a good look at the entire style.
All right, guys, so far this is what I'm dealing with. The TGI inside is obviously not dry because it was, you know, the last to be twisted up, and I think it's more weighed down than the Kinky Curly Not Today side. Kinky Curly side seems more fluffy, just from, you know, my observation. However, both sides look moisturized and hydrated. For me, this is what I'm used to, and this is what I'm comfortable with, having product on my hair for manageability, etc. I'm thinking maybe the Not Today is not going to work for my kind of lifestyle, because it requires the hair to be very, very wet. And yeah, like I need a moisturizer to be able to just moisturize when I need it to do so, even without heaps of water. The Kinky Curly didn't seem to have as much slip as it does when I use it with heaps of water. So it's just something to consider for the future, but this is what I'm dealing with.
Until next time, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.